Hello, 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 and welcome to Story Time. I am so glad you all decided to join me. Let's see who we have here. Whew. We have Peter Langford in the house. Hello, Peter. How are you? Peter, are you still gloating from being featured in Story Time the other day? We have Kingdom Boy. Kingdom Boy, I hope you enjoyed Story Time once you found your story, the story you were featured in. I hope you enjoyed it. We have Shewana's Creative Circle in the house. How are you, sweetie? I enjoyed watching you and your grandbaby doing the diamond art. At first, when you all started out, I was feeling a little bad. I was like, oh man, the 6-year-old beat me out. But then after she was so distracted, I didn't feel so bad. I said, so I'm not the only one distracted. We have Pandy Hair Candy in the house. Yay! Thank you, Gigi, for you all raiding me. I really appreciate it. We have Cindy in the house. Hello, Cindy. How are you? Cindy, make sure you hook up with me tonight before you turn in on IG. We have Ghost Pirate in the house. Hello, Ghost Pirate. How are you? Welcome back to Story Time. I appreciate you being here tonight. Then we got our YT cheerleader. Whoop, whoop, whoop. The YT cheerleader. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Vernus Junk Closet in the house tonight. How are you, Vernus? Then we have the Foodie Doo. Welcome back, the Foodie Doo. I think you were in Story Time before, but I'm so glad to have you here. Vernus is welcoming everybody into the live. Shewana speaking to Ghost Pirate and Vernus. Vernus says, hey to Shewana. How are you? Ghost Pirate is speaking to Shewana. We got Anthony Shaw in the house. How you doing, brother? So glad that you could join us tonight. Ghost Pirate is speaking to Vernus. And Pandy saying good evening to everyone. Ghost Pirate speaking to Pandy. Kingdom Boy says, I enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Kingdom Boy, you were determined you were going to stay on it until you got it. So I start searching for it for you. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. We have Edward Smart in the house. He says, hello, Deborah. How are you, Edward? So glad to see you. The Foodie Doo is speaking to Vernus. Peter says, I'm gloating still. Ghost Pirate is saying hello to the Foodie Doo. Vernus is saying hello to Ghost Pirate. Pandy says hi to Ghost Pirate. Shewana's laughing. Vernus is saying hey to the Foodie Doo and throwing some love. The Foodie Doo is saying hey to Ghost Pirate. Miss Four Rollers in the house. The dancing diva. Miss Four Roller. She's saying hi. Deborah, Maud, and Chats. Hey y'all. Hope all is well. Yes. I had a good day. That's for sure. The Foodie Doo is saying hey to Shewana. Pandy saying hey to Edward Smart. Ghost Pirate saying hello to Miss Four Roller. Anthony saying Deborah's got Tidings. Hey sis. And Miss Four Roller is speaking to Ghost Pirate. Says hey. Edward Smart saying hey to Pandy, Hair Candy, and more. We have As Told by Tina in the house tonight. She's saying hey Deborah. How you doing, Tina? Great to see you back at Story Time. So glad that all of you came out to see me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I don't take it lightly because there are other places you could be and other things you could be doing, like working on your own content. So I appreciate that you took time out to come hang out with me in Story Time. I get excited about it every time. We have Be the Difference Clothing in the house tonight. She says, hey, Deborah. She's speaking to As Told by Tina. Edward Smart, Miss Full Roller, Anthony Shaw, Vernus Junk Closet, The Foodie Doo, Shewana's Creative Circle, Ghost Pirate, and Pandy's Hair Candy and more. She's speaking to the whole gang. As Told by Tina says, I'm good. Got a chance to catch you. Oh, great. Shewana's saying hey to Foodie Doo. As Told by Tina, Edward Smart, Miss Full Roller, Be the Difference Clothing, and Pandy's Hair Candy and more. And As Told by Tina says hey to Be the Difference. Says hey love. Anthony's saying hey to Be the Difference. Hey, he says hello. The Foodie Doo speaking As Told by Tina says hey sis. Ghost Pirate says hey to Be the Difference. The Foodie Doo says hey to Be the Difference Clothing. Says hey sis. Ghost Pirate says hey to Tina. Tina saying hey to the food do and kisses and love. Gigi saying hello to the foodie do as told by Tina. Be the difference clothing. Edward Smart. And look, Edward Smart got a double hello. Edward Smart, Edward Smart. And Bernice Junk Closet, our YT cheerleader. We have Coquethia Goodman in the house. She says, hello, Deborah. So glad you could join us, Coquethia. I think this might be your first time in story time. I'm not really sure, but I appreciate that you're here. If you were here before, I'm glad, and you are certainly welcome back. As told by Tina says, Ghost Pirate coming to give you a big hug and kisses. And she's pucking them lips up twice, throwing them at you, Ghost Pirate. And Tina says, hey to Gigi, throwing some love. Miss Full Roller says, to be the difference clothing, hey. Shawana says, hey to Coquethia Goodman. Be the difference says, hey, Gigi's gluten-free lab. Gigi says, welcome to the live, and Ghost Pirate, Pandy, Hair Candy, and more. Cindy, Coquethia Goodman, Miss Full Roller, and Shawana's Creative Circle. As told by Tina is saying, Furnace Junk Closet, hey, love. Kingdom Boy saying, hey, Gigi. Ghost Pirate saying, hey, Gigi. Gluten-free lab. And we have Peter Langford saying, hey to Gigi. Tina saying hi to Kingdom Boy. And Ghost Pirate says, hey to As Told by Tina, right back at you. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with our story. And I'll come back to the chat as usual afterwards. I think you're going to enjoy the story. It's a new one. So, here we go. I got my hot tea this time. I hope you all got your hot beverage. In a certain village, there lived 10 merchants. Creative Mom, Olajoe the Crocheting Sailor, Pandy Hair Candy and More, Smart Needle Crafts, The Creative Creole, Tie Cakes, Be the Difference Clothing, Miss Ferris Creations, Digo Crochet, Fametta Eats, who always traveled together. All their merchandise was beautifully made and cost $50+. One day they traveled far afield and went returning home with a great deal of money they made selling their goods while visiting Joe and Jassy down in Georgia. They didn't have iffy success. They had great success. Ty Cakes was having fun with the girls when suddenly their Thursday vibes got interrupted. Now, the Barrel Boy Woods happened to be a dense forest near their village, next to the PMCF Central Church. Early one morning, they discovered that 4 notorious robbers, Pistol Pete, Mac the Knife, Pablo Sniper, and LNG Assassin, of whose existence the traders had never heard, lived there. While they were still in the middle of the Barrel Boy Woods, Pistol Pete, Mac the Knife, Pablo Sniper, and LNG Assassin stood before them with guns and knives in their hands and ordered the merchants to give up all that they had, as if they were a stupid ATM. The merchants were greater in number than Pistol Pete, Mac the Knife, Pablo Sniper, and LNG Assassin, but they had no weapons with them. So they had to submit themselves to the crooks. Pistol Pete, Mac the Knife, Pablo Sniper, and LNG Assassin took everything away from the merchants, including their clothes off their backs, and gave each a small loincloth to cover themselves. the idea that Pistol Pete, Mac the Knife, Pablo Sniper, and LNG Assassin had overtaken the 10 merchants and took all their property went to their heads. They seated themselves like King Plav before the merchants and said, "You will perform for us before we will allow you to return home." The merchants were all concerned about their fate. They lost everything they had, and still the crooks weren't satisfied. Now they were expected to perform. The crooks were so relaxed you would have thought they were in Jill's comfort zone or at Diamond Girl tea time. Those crooks acted like this was the Angel Munez variety show. Creative Mom did Jedi game tricks. olajoe-thecrochetingsailor played the keyboard like Marlonmusicchannel. Pandy Hair Candy and More spin records like DJ Storms. Smart Needle Craft dance Cambodia monkey style. The Creative Creole sang like Sheila E. Ty Cakes performed Dave's poems and songs. Be the Difference Clothing shared Marley's inspiration. Miss Farris Creations told jokes like the Miss Yo-Yo Show. Digo Crochet sang like T Tisha One, as if singing for the creator. And Famata Eats spit poems like ViiScottSpeaks. As fun as this all sounds, these were no magic moments for the merchants, but they had to act like it was their usual gathering place. Along the 10 merchants, Smart Needle Crafts was the clever one. She was one smart cookie and a sweet pea. She pondered over the danger that she and her friends encountered, the acts they had to perform, and the position Pistol Pete, Mac the Knife, Pablo Sniper, and LNG Assassin seated themselves on the grass. She also noticed they had placed their weapons on the ground. She took the lead and commenced to dance Cambodia monkey style. A song is also sung by the leader on such occasions. So while the rest kept rhythm with their hands and feet, she began to sing these lyrics while remaining super smiley. We are NT woman, they are Aerith men. If each Aerith woman surround uno man remains. Tate Tom Tadigana. Pistol Pete, Mac the Knife, Pablo Sniper, and LNG Assassin were all uneducated and thought that Smart Needle Craft was merely singing a song. In one sense, Smart Needle Crafts commenced from a distance to sing the song again before she and the other merchants commenced to approach Pistol Pete, Mac the Knife, Pablo Sniper, and LNG Assassin. Each merchant understood the song's meaning because they had been trained in trade. When two traders discussed the price of an article in the presence of a purchaser, they use a riddling sort of language just like the song. One trader would ask another, "What is the price of this merchandise?" "Inte ruples" would be the reply, meaning 10 rupees. The purchaser wouldn't know what it meant unless he were acquainted with trade language. In this secret language, Arith means 3, Ente means 10, and Uno means 1. So Smart Needle, by her song, meant to hint to her fellow merchants that they outnumbered Pistol Pete, Mac the Knife, Pablo Sniper, and LNG Assassin 10-3. If 3 of them jumped the gang, surely 9 of them could hold them down, while the remaining one bound their hands and feet. Pistol Pete, Mac the Knife, Pablo Sniper, and LNG Assassin sat proudly, glorying in their victory, because they had little understanding of the meaning of the song and the intentions of the merchants. Meanwhile, the song was sung a 3rd time. The words left the lips of the singer, and before Tidings was out of them, the merchants separated into 3s, and each group jumped a thief. The remaining one, Smart Needle Crafts herself, tore up large pieces of cloth and tied the hands and feet of them one by one. Pistol Pete, Mac the Knife, Pablo Sniper, and LNG Assassin were entirely humbled and rolling on the ground like 3 bags of rice. The 10 merchants took back all their property and money and armed themselves with the guns and knives of their enemies. And when they reached their village, they often amused their friends and families by telling the story of their adventure. And that concludes my story for tonight. And as I was sitting there working on this story, there were a couple of scriptures that came to mind. The first was 1 Peter 5:8, which says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." And I thought about that scripture in regards to Pistol Pete, Mac the Knife, Pablo Sniper, and LNG Assassin, because here they were crooks. And I'm sure this wasn't the first encounter where they robbed someone. It says they lived in Barrel Boy Woods, in fact. So I'm sure that this wasn't their first encounter. And typically when you have a robbery taking place, a lot of times there are casualties. Because either people don't have what they want, or the person tries to defend themselves against them. So when I looked at this, it says the adversary goes around as a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. The same thing was taking place with Pistol Pete, Mac the Knife, Pablo Sniper, and LNG Assassin. They were going around different places seeking whom they could overpower and overtake. So that was the first scripture that came to my mind when I looked at this story of how the enemy, because they were considered, and so they were considered enemies. At that point, they were considered enemies of the merchants, because they went around, they ran into the merchant, robbed them, took all that they had. The only difference is, for some strange reason, unlike most robbers, they wanted to be amused on top of it. So I guess it was an added humiliation. They wanted to, intimidation factor as well, because they realized that they were outnumbered, I think, at some point, but they felt obviously secure because of the gun, knives that they had. But that was the first scripture that came to my mind. The other one was when you think about it, here you had 10 merchants and 3 crooks. So they clearly was outnumbered 10 to 3. So when they finally put their minds together and came together to 10, they were able to overtake the 3, regardless of the fact that they had weapons. So the scripture that came to my mind was the one that says that if one can chase 1,000, 2 can chase 10,000s. So I think about it from a spiritual warfare versus a carnal one with our characters. Pistol Pete and his gang versus all of the merchants. So they realized that those 10 were able to put those 3 to flight, so to speak, once they got rid of their fear. Once they got over their fear, they realized there's power in numbers. And that's simply what that scripture is saying. There's power in numbers. So that was the second scripture that came to my mind. And the other one that came to my mind was when I was thinking in terms of spiritual warfare versus natural warfare. Because even though no one got injured, no physical altercation took place between the characters, the crooks or the robbers, still there was a natural war taking place. So I thought about it from a spiritual perspective when it says that Ephesians 6:12 says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." So you have to know what kind of battle you're in. The merchants realized they were in a natural battle with Pistol Pete and his gang. So you have to fight a natural fight with natural ammunition or tactics. But when you're in spiritual warfare, you have to fight a spiritual battle. So you can't fight a natural battle with spiritual warfare, and you can't fight the spiritual battle with natural warfare. So you got to know who you're in battle with. And I thought about that scripture because we are oftentimes in a spiritual battle. Not always a physical battle, but we're oftentimes in a spiritual battle. And if we understand that we're wrestling against principalities and powers of darkness and wickedness in high places, then we will know how to fight that spiritual battle. So we have to fight that spiritual battle operating in the spiritual realm. So those were the scriptures that came to mind when I looked at the characters in the story. And the characters featured in the story tonight, the YouTubers are, and it was quite a few. It's more than I anticipated getting into the story, because I don't really know until I start getting into the story. And as I'm looking for one character, I run across another character and go, oh, I can put that one down here. Oh, I can go back. So I go back and forth with the story, inserting, sometimes also changing, because when I go a little further, I might find a name that I felt suited better than the one I originally had holding the place. So we have Creative Mom as a YouTuber. I think most of you know Olajoe, the Crocheting Sailor. We got our very own Pandy in the house tonight. Pandy Hair Candy More. Smart Needle Crafts. We have the Creative Creole, our very own Creative Creole, who's watching with the fam. That's what YouTuber. We have Thai Cakes. We have our very own Beat of Difference Clothing. Then we have Miss Ferris Creations. We have Digo Crochet. We have Famata Eats. Beautifully Made is a YouTuber. We have our very own 50 Plus in our story tonight. Joe and Jazzy down in Georgia. That's a YouTuber's name. That's a mouthful. That's a YouTuber. Iffy's Success. Fun with the Girls is a YouTuber. Thursday Vibes. Barrel Boy Woods. PMCF Central Church. Pistol Pete. Mac the Knife. Pablo Sniper. And LNG Assassin are all YouTubers. Then we have Stupid ATM. That's actually a YouTuber, Stupid ATM. I was so laughing when I saw that. I said, wow, that's interesting. Then we have King Plav is a YouTuber who was actually also featured in the story Monday night. I think it was. Jill's Comfort Zone. Diamond Girl Tea Time. The Angel Munez Variety Show. Jedi Game Tricks. Marlonmusicchannel. DJ Storms. Cambodia Monkey Style. Sheila E. Dave's Poems and Songs, who was also recently featured in a story. Marley's Inspiration. The Miss Yo-Yo Show. Tisha One. Singing for the Creator is a YouTuber. ViiScottSpeaks. Magic Moments. Gathering Place. Smart Cookie. Sweet Pea. Super Smiley. And those were all of our YouTubers featured tonight in the story. It was quite a few. I was surprised that I was able to get so many in there. And I just love the play on the names when I was saying what the merchants who were performing. So I had a YouTuber as the merchant and another YouTuber as their art that they were gonna perform for the crooks. So I just thought that was so cute. Let's see who walked in while I was reading the story. Please, if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and thumbs me up. I would really appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Okay, as told by Tina, speaking to Kingdom Boy. Gross Pryor saying right back at you. Okay, Edward Smart is speaking to Shiwana. Gigi, Miss Full Roller. Gigi saying hey to Kingdom Boy and Peter Lamford. Pandy, Hair Candy and Moore saying hey to Gigi. Anthony Shaw says, guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up your way and all, like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thank you so much, Anthony. But next time, try not to give me so many bells. We don't want your comment to be spammed. Gigi says, welcome to story time, everyone. As told by Tina says, I got wine. All right. Tina says she got her wine. I got my hot tea here. Sometimes I have hot chocolate. Coach Sherry's in the house tonight. How are you, Coach Sherry? So glad for you to join us again for story time. I don't know if you ever had a chance to go back and find your story that you were featured in. I want to say Coach Sherry is the one that was said the biggest YouTuber. I think that might be the one. If it wasn't that one, it may be the one that's with Oreo Mint Mouse and Chocolate Chip Mint Mouse. I know it's one of those. It's one of those two. So if you hadn't had a chance, you at least know to check those two. You were featured in that one alongside Tiffany Chanel. The Foodie Doo says to ask about Tina, you know I keep some wine. Okay, Tina got Foodie Doo got their wine. Tina's laughing. Pandy says hey to Coach Sherry. Shawana Creative Circle is laughing. And Shawana, y'all think you were here Monday. I think you were featured in that story there on Monday. Edward's laughing. Deborah Akpa saying hello to everyone. Vernon says please thumbs up the live as you enter. And I just want to say thank you so much to my mods, Bernice, Cindy, Gigi, and whoever else I may have missed. I really appreciate you being my eyes, because I can't stop to watch the stream, while at least I don't want to, while I'm reading the story, because it'll break the flow. You know, it's enough that I always stop and take a sip, but I got to keep my throat moisturized. Got to wet my whistle while I'm speak. As Toba Tina says hi to Deborah Akpa. Gigi says hi to Coach Sherry and Deborah Akpa. Tina says great story host. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Tina. Edward Smart says I'm trying to visualize the Cambodia monkey style dance. Okay, Edward, I'm trying to think. It's a movie. I don't think it was Bruce Lee. What's that other guy's name? Jet Li? I don't know, but anyways, there was a karate movie. Some of you may know what I'm talking about. There was a karate movie where the guy was staggering and say he was doing this type of martial art. He named it. I don't know if that's really such a art, but I think it was something he created himself. And he was doing that. And another one he had was called the drunken man or something. But I would guess it's sort of a movement if you ever watch those Cambodia monkeys, Edward. So that's what I envision when I think about a dance, just a crazy dance, kind of all over the place. As Tobatina's laughing and says, thank you, Edward Smart, because now I am too. Gigi saying to Edward Smart, you can do it. Fanny says, thanks for the feature. Deborah's got tired and love the message and story. Thank you, Penny. You are quite welcome. Sam I Am. Oh, look, a troublemaker just walked in, you all. Sam I Am is a troublemaker. But Gigi, check this out. And I'm saying this to Gigi because Gigi could appreciate this, because she's not from the bottom, but she's hung out down there with some characters down at the bottom aside from me. Sam I Am was in Vernon's live the other night cutting the monkey. But Sam I Am trying to get down there to the bottom, Gigi. So, and then he's talking about me because I'm from the bottom. Talking about I'm probably somewhere on somebody's videotape and don't know it with my carryings on. But I'm so glad to have you, Sam. I'm so glad you stopped by. I don't know at what point you walked in, but I hope you walked in time to catch the story. If not, the beautiful part about it, I love it, we have replay so we can catch what we missed. He says, loving the fireside chat format you got going. Thank you, Sam. Shawana saying hi to Sam I Am. Sam is saying hi back to Shawana. Ghost Pirate says, great story. Ghost Pirate, I'm glad you enjoyed the story tonight. Gigi says hello to Sam I Am. And Sam is saying hey back to Gigi. Cindy says, welcome, please thumbs it up if you haven't. Tina says hey to Cindy. Cindy says hey back to Tina. Tina's clapping. Tina's giving me a standing ovation. I'm envisioning her standing up. Eat with C says hello, hosts and everybody. So glad you joined us, Eat with C. I don't know if this I think this might be your second time, not sure. But I know you were featured in a story, and I don't know if you were there that night. But I'm so glad to have you back. I hope you made it in time to catch tonight's story. Gigi says, please thumbs up the live, everyone. And she says, yes, Sam, I am. The bottom is a great place. Sam trying to go down there to get in trouble, Gigi. That's what he trying to do. While he trying to talk about me, he trying to go down there because he done heard they know how to party down there at the bottom. Tina says that's what it is, host. That's what it is, yeah. Yeah, he trying to get down there to get him some. Any birthdays in the house tonight? You know I always sing happy birthday to the birthday person. And as we all know, I would imagine it's still Taurus season. If I'm wrong, somebody hit me in the stream and tell me I'm wrong, so we can move on to the next zodiac. But I think we're still in Taurus season. Any birthdays in the house? No birthdays? Oh, man. Pandy says, very creative. I enjoyed. Got to head out due to early work in the AM. Good night, everyone. Good night, Pandy. We are so glad you came and hung out with us at story time, and you have a good night's rest, and be safe when you go to work. Eat with C says, this is my second time here. I didn't know I was featured. Yes, you were featured. Unfortunately, this is like our 58th story. So unfortunately, I can't remember. I can hardly remember who was featured Monday or the Friday before. Sometimes I can. But you were featured in a story. What you could do, I would imagine, why don't you check the one that says the biggest YouTube, the biggest, how is it? The biggest storytime shout out. I think that's what the title of it. Check that one. And I think that one you might be in, or the one with Oreo mint mouse and chocolate chip mint mouse. Because those two had a lot of people, and I think you're in one of those. So you could start there. But I do have all of the YouTubers that's featured in the story. I have them in the description of that story. So you can see it when you look in the description area. Keeping up with William Seraphin is in the house. Hello. He says, hi, everyone. Hi, Deborah. Glad. What's up? I am here, and I don't know. I guess you just walked in. So you probably missed our story again, but you can always catch it on replay. But we are certainly glad to have you here. Pandy says, thanks. And Eat with C says, okay, I will check it out. So I guess there's no birthdays in the house tonight. So we don't get to hear our birthday song. I look just as much forward to that as I do story time. For those of you who are new to the stream, I'm a published author. This is my book. It's called My Struggle in Broken Pieces, A Healing for My Soul. It is available at Amazon. And what I will be doing hopefully next week is starting to read from my book. And for those of you, because I do book giveaways periodically, and those of you who want a book, guess what? They came early. They promised me Saturday, and I got them today. So I will be trying to get those out to you all in the mail tomorrow. And hopefully you will get it in time for me to start reading, and maybe you could follow along. And that's why I call these stories a prelude to story time. Even though they are stories, I call it a prelude to story time because I will be starting to read excerpts from my book. I still will be doing these particular types of stories as well, and I haven't figured out yet how I'm going to do it. I'll probably trade off, do one night and the other night, because this is also my way of shouting out the YouTubers by featuring them in the stories. So I still will be doing these types of stories, even though I'm going to be reading excerpts from my books. But I want to give those people who want a book through the book giveaways time to get their book so they can hopefully follow along. And those who are interested in purchasing a book, allow them time to go on Amazon and get their copy. E. Johnson Woodson's in the house tonight. I'm sorry I'm late from Kansas. Okay, that's okay. You always got replay, so you'll get to hear the story. And she was also featured, I think it was Monday night or Friday. E. Johnson Woodson was featured in a story. So Tina says, yay. E.J. Woodson says hi to Gigi. Tina says hello to E. Johnson. And Gigi says hello to E. Johnson Woodson. So, and as told by Tina saying hello. E. Johnson Woodson is saying hello as told by Tina. Also, for those of you who may be here for the first time, there's no rhyme or reason as to the name. It's strictly the luck of the draw. It's just how the story seems to be progressing and flowing. That's how I put the names in. And as you can see, depending on what your name is, you may not be a person in the story. You will either be a person, place, or a thing. And so that's how your names go in. And like I said, I've gone through the stories. In fact, I on the one I did today, I had a name in there too. And as I continued to go through my pool of names and look, I was like, no, this one fits better. Because I try to match the names to the scene that's taking place. Like, for instance, with the crooks, I was trying to find names that fit a person who would be like a crook. So that's how I came up with the Pistol Pete and Jack Mac the Knife and LNG Assassin and Pablo Sniper. But they are actually YouTubers. But that's how I was able to put them in to the scene. And Simply a Sweetheart is the most used featured YouTuber that I have in the stories. She's in so many stories because of her name is describing someone. But the night I decided to switch it up and I used Sweet Pea. But I think Sweet Pea has also been used at least one other time. So it's no rhyme or reason. It's just how it flows. The name flows in the story. And of course, I have a pool where I get my names. I pull from the pool of people who are either subscribed to me or I'm subscribed to them. Now, when I did that biggest YouTube shout out, and I think one or two after that, I did go outside my pool because as I was in someone else's live, making my rounds in the different lives, I saw some names that were really, really interesting. So I screenshotted them and I said, I'll save these. And so I did use some people that probably aren't subscribed to me, and there probably some are. It's just we have such a large number of people we have to get around to till sometimes you can't remember the names, especially if they're not, people you see on a regular. E. Johnson Woodson says, yes, ma'am, I was, and I was so happy I shared it out. Thank you so much for sharing Storytime out. And Sam, you said you like my fireplace little ambiance I got going on. Yeah, everybody likes it. I actually, Saturday, Sam, I actually did a premiere where I did a brief story time where I did it as a premiere where I actually went outside and sat by a lake and did the story time just to switch up the scenery. Keeping up with William Seraphin says hi to Gigi. But yeah, so that's how I come up with the but I've used so many YouTubers. And the thing is, the unfortunate thing is, if you're not in Storytime, you won't know you were featured. The good part about it is somebody knows somebody knows somebody knows somebody. So people have been coming back and watching the stories and saying, hey, so-and-so told me I was featured, so I checked it out. So some people actually get a chance to see that they were featured because somebody who was in Storytime told them, or somebody like Miss Johnson Woodson who said they shared out the story. Simply a Sweetheart shared it out, Seven Legs Fairy. So people, because actually initially Seven Legs Fairy wasn't in Storytime, but someone told her she was featured. And then she came and let me know someone told her, and she shared her story out. So share your story with your friends. And from then on, different people were coming in like that because somebody let them know. Cindy says, welcome everyone. Please thumbs up the live if you haven't. E. Johnson Woodson says, yes, I saw when you switched. Stephanie went outside. Okay. E. Johnson Woodson says, correction, yes, I saw when you switched it up and went outside. Okay. All right. Look, you had me thinking, Stephanie went outside. What story was that when Stephanie went outside? Oh, okay. Yeah, when I went. Okay, so you saw the premiere where I went and sat out by the lake. But, yeah, I was excited about the story tonight, especially, like I said, that play on the names where I was able to use one person's name and use another person's name to describe their craft. That was like my favorite part. Section of the story. I was really glad how well that came together, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I really do, and I appreciate having each and every one of you here. Last week I did forget forget last week to tell you all who all was featured in the story. Let me see. Let's see if I can find it. I had quite a few. I guess I can't find it right now. But anyways, yeah, I forgot to tell. I meant to tell you all who was featured in this story last week, and for one, I was trying to get finished with story time so I could eat and get to bed. But it was quite a few in there as well. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. But no birthdays, so I guess we don't get our happy birthday song tonight. For those of you who are new to the stream, usually I sing happy birthday if we have someone's birthday. We all in the story time celebrate that person's birthday, and even though everybody may think their zodiac is the number one, like I'm not calling no names, King Sam, but we ask that you put your zodiac aside and just celebrate the person who had another year put up under their belt, and we just have a lot of fun with it, and everybody's so cooperative and stuff, and we just have a lot of fun with it. And got Miss Full Roller, who's our dancing diva. She's always the first on board, saying that they working that thing out and throwing their sign in the chat. So we look forward to that from her. So she started something. She don't know it, but she started something. So she can't back out. We be looking for her. Vernon says, no born day. I know, Vernon, but look, we celebrated. We had a good time celebrating your birthday the other night, Vernon. We had a really, really good time. Vernon's birthday was Tuesday. Her birthday was yesterday. So we celebrated her on Monday during story time, and we started out. We sang the Stevie Wonder version for her and went right on into the Two Lot Crew. What I especially like about the Two Lot Crew version is it's a group participation thing, and so it allows everybody in the stream to help celebrate that person, not just with a traditional happy birthday. And I know that she would have been just as appreciative if everybody typed in the stream happy birthday, but I think it add more fun and flair to it when we throw that person's zodiac in there and say no when we call out. Even when we call out our own zodiac, we say no, and then we throw working that thing out in there. So we make it all about the person whose birthday it is. So that's what makes it fun, and everybody's so cooperative. But then you have, people like 12 Veils, who's not here tonight, and she just makes it even more fun because she acts like she's the defiant one, and she's going no. Basically, she's not participating. Cancer is the best zodiac, but then she comes right in there and she celebrates that person who just as hard as if she was celebrating herself. So we have a lot of fun with. Look at Burns go, Two Lot Crew, woohoo! Oh, but we have a lot of fun here at Story Time. Like I said, you all give me a reason to look forward to Story Time. A lot of times I'm tired or whatever in my body, but something about story time, when it gets time for story time, I get this extra burst of energy, and I have that adrenaline just flowing. And then 50 Plus had his birthday a few months back, and so we went from singing one song, because I give them the four options: the traditional birthday song, the Marilyn Monroe version, the Stevie Wonder, and the Two Lot Crew. So 50 comes in that night and hit me with a surprise. He said he wanted all four. He wanted me to start it slow and work my way on through. And I said, 50, you done started something. But man, I was so worked up that night, hyped up from that birthday celebration for 50, I couldn't get to sleep that night. But we do have a lot of fun. And I thank and appreciate each and every one of you. Like I said, there's so many other things you could be doing and places you could be. But you chose to hang out right here with me in story time, and you all look like you look as forward to it as much as I do, and I appreciate each and every one of you for that. But I am not going to prolong story time. I am going to go ahead and sign out. Shawanna's laughing. And Shawana, I'm going to get started on my diamond art again. I've been taking it a little bit at a time. But I'm going to eventually get the finished product. I know the people who watch me with my first attempt at it are probably saying, did she ever finish it? She never came back and showed us the finished product. But I'm working on it slowly, Shawana. I'm not as fast as you all or your little grandbaby showed me up today. But, oh, look at Miss Roller dancing. Ah, thank you, Miss Roller. Bernie, see, Miss Roller still celebrating for you. She's still dancing. Who is this? Okay, somebody just walked in. Who's that? That's Showbiz Official. Okay, hello, That's Showbiz Official. It's so funny, because I saw your name. I got your name from somebody else's stream. And I was trying to, when I got to the part of the story where I was listing everybody's craft, whether they had to dance or sing, and I saw your name, Showbiz Official, and I said, wow, how can I fit this name into the story? But I guess I didn't play with it long enough. But I was sure it was just so funny to see you here tonight, because I sure was trying to figure out how I could have worked your name into the story tonight. If you go back and watch the replay, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But that Showbiz Official says, hello, my dear host watching from Philippines. Oh, okay. So you what? Thank you. And says, thumbs up. Cindy says, love. Showbiz says, hello, everyone. How are you doing, guys? Cindy says, good night, everyone. Good night, Cindy. Thank you so much. Cindy, don't forget, hit me up on IG so I can easily find you and send you a message. Showbiz Official is laughing. Gigi saying hello to Showbiz Official. As told by Tina says, good night, you guys. Heading to bed. Thank you, Tina, for coming by. Look for your book in the mail. E. Johnson Wooster says, don't forget to give the host thumbs up and subscribe. And she's throwing some love. Thank you, E. Johnson. That's Showbiz Official says, thank you so much, my friend host. Thank you, Showbiz, for spending time with us at Story Time. And Gigi says good night to Cindy. Showbiz says hi to Gigi's Gluten Free Lab. Hi, my dear. How are you? But I'm going to go ahead and head out, you all. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me for Story Time. Always remember, may his peace be with you until we meet again. Story Time is each Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I look forward to seeing your faces in the place at Story Time on Friday. If for some reason I can't make it to Story Time, I always shoot a little message up there letting everybody know that it's been canceled and when it will resume. And always remember, somebody else just walked in. Let's see. Be the Difference says bye all and thanks. You're quite welcome, Be the Difference. Gigi says good night to Tina. Carolyn East All says, oh, I'm late. Yes, Carolyn, Story Time is 10 p.m. But we were glad you made it back in. Also, you were featured, Carolyn. I don't know if you were here at the time that you were featured, but I don't know which Story Time you were featured in, but you were. And Gigi says, thanks, everyone. Miss Fullroller says, another great story, Deborah. Thank you, Miss Fullroller. So I will see you all, like I said, Friday at the next Story Time. If I can't make it, I'll shoot a message letting you know that it's been canceled and when it will resume. And always remember, I have a will to live. I love you all, and good night, and stay safe.